Hey everybody, it's Heiden, and I'm back with a little bit of a different kind of video today. This is not actually a combat replay, because, quite honestly, I was loud. Motorcycle drove down the street. Quite honestly, over the last few days, it's been really kind of dull. We're in the doldrums of the campaign right now, so if you think about it, we've just basically captured Singapore. Most of the Dutch East Indies is under control. I've done really good in the South Pacific, more or less. We're in Burma. China's going pretty good. So, like, I'm just kind of getting prepped for the next phase. And the allies are being kind of reactive. They're waiting for me to do something, right? He doesn't know where I'm going to go or what I'm going to do. So, he's waiting. But that leads to some kind of boring turns. So, we're on March 6th right now. And I would say the last 3 to 4 turns have been so dull. I don't even want to waste your time with the combat replays because there's nothing to watch. It's superficial stuff. So what I'm going to do today is kind of get you up to speed on where things are at right now. And I'm going to keep watching these turns. And when there's a good one, I'm going to show it to you. When there's a boring one, I'm probably not because I don't want to waste your time. So let's go ahead and quickly take a look at the score as it exists right now. Here you go. Aircraft losses for the last turn were, you can get an idea of what we're dealing with here. Basically nothing, right? There's just nothing happening here. Army loss points have been creeping up slowly for both sides, but more so for him. We've had some minor combat in China and things like that. It's usual. No ships sunk this turn, but last turn we lost a patrol boat out in the Pacific due to one of his heavy light cruisers doing a little raid. I'll show you that. And we're just kind of getting ready. So we'll go around the map real quick. So I do have an update on the Aleutians. So initially, I had kind of planned on possibly moving to take ADAC, right? But I don't think I'm going to do it now because over the last few turns, he's really been building up this base. The port capacity and the air capacity have both gone up in the last few days. So that's telling me that he's got a substantial presence here, okay? I don't know what he's got here, but I'm assuming there's a lot of troops. We know he's got an infantry regiment here. We know he's got at least one light cruiser, maybe more stuff here. I feel, and you can disagree with me if you want, I feel like the window of opportunity to do something in the Aleutians has already come and gone for me, right? If I wanted this, I should have gone for it on turn 1. At this point, I have no idea what he's got here. I don't know what kind of ships. I don't know what kind of aircraft. There could be a whole infantry division sitting in ADAC for all I know. And I don't want to commit a force to go after this only to get ambushed by something way bigger. Because most of my heavy units are way down south, right? I've got some light cruisers, some light destroyers, an aircraft carrier, a escort one, and maybe a division to throw at this. But if I get caught in an ambush up here, that's just going to leave me super exposed and vulnerable to counterattack in the northern part of Japan. So I've decided for this campaign, I've missed my opportunity to do anything here. And we're just going to focus on building up a strong perimeter here. Okay? Because I think he would want to come and try to poke around up here in the Kuril Islands and see about maybe getting into Hokkaido, doing something else. So I want to just focus on building this northern flank up and making it harder for him to do anything. But for me to get into the Aleutians at this point, I just don't think it's possible. I don't know what I'm getting into. It's too risky for me. So that's what we're not going to do. And he's been picking off my patrol boats off here on and off for a while. So I'm thinking about pulling back the patrol boats to something a little closer to the island so I can protect them better. Maybe catch him in an ambush, right? Everything's looking really good on the home islands. If we take a look at tracker here, I'll show you what the industry's looking like. So this is our chart. I'm really happy with everything so far. Oil and resources, which is my favorite tab to look at. And again, I look at primarily the home islands because that's where most of our industry's at. Has been doing really good. Supply dipped a little bit because I'm shipping troops and supplies out, and I loaded the ships with supply because I figured why not. But we've been trending upward on supply for a couple months now. So Supply is good. I've started shipping fuel back from the Dutch East Indies already, and you can see we're starting to gain fuel. We start the campaign with 2.5 million tons of fuel, and we're already back up to 2.27. Resources, big gains here. We start the campaign with the home islands having 5 million resources, which is like enough for 60 days. It's really not much. But we're already up to 6.4 million, and with a couple minor little glitches, we've been trending upwards for a while with resources. We're up to a 76-day reserve now. If you see that number right here, let me circle it for you. We're up to 76-day reserve of resources. Oil, we got 288 days left till we fully exhaust it, but I can supplement that with Dutch East Indies oil shipments soon. So those are looking good. And then if we look at supply and fuel in Japan, we have enough fuel for 187 days. And that number is about to go up substantially here because we're going to start shipping in a ton of fuel from all the bases that have captured. So fuel issue, we're not going to have any fuel issues in the home islands for a while. All right, now let's take a look at China and some of the activity we got going on here. So first, here, we finally pushed the Chinese out of this base. So now I've got 2 armored car regiments heading up to Yan'an to take that. That base is worth some points. What does it got here? 20 points right there with a lot of resources that I can use here at Fusan. The Chinese just attacked me here, but it was basically a waste of time. He's just trying to kill this unit off. We are in no danger of this falling up here. It was basically nothing. All right, we did spot there's 2 Chinese units. There's one here and one kind of here, and they're working their way down towards Lanchao. So he's going to try to get us at Lanchao, right? And it would be a shock attack, but here's the deal. That is... Wait, there we go. Desert rough terrain. So that's ×3 terrain, I believe. Let me confirm that. Let's see, DR. Okay, desert rough is ×2. That's fine. It's still good defensive terrain for us. Where was I at? Lanchao. So this is a pretty sizable unit here. It's probably got about 300 AV in it, maybe a little bit more. But I'm moving reinforcements up there right now. I've got an SNLF unit and a mixed brigade and a lot of engineers heading up there to build up the forts because we need to get these built up quickly. So I estimate he's got about 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, maybe a month before he's ready to attack us here. I should be able to get this reinforced in time to deal with this shock attack. And I'm not worried about that. In Xi'an, he's been moving his units in here into suicide attacks and getting blasted every time he does it. This is nothing here. These units are just stuck on the wrong side of the road and he's trying to kill them off. Okay, so it looks like this division here that I thought was going to get massacred, we're going to be able to escape next turn because we're going to move hopefully 15 miles and clear this hex tomorrow. Get back to where our main body's at here. My push towards Kienko is going very well. My armor just got into this hex this turn. And we're facing what I think is a reduced force of Chinese troops here. I'm estimating 2,500 to 3,000 AV maximum. And they're probably going to have some supply issues. I got 600 AV there with another 5,000 working their way in. And in about 2 turns, we'll start attacking here. And once we break through here, guys, it's basically Flankaroni City, right? We're going to quickly be able to blast through Kienko and head straight for Chongqing. And when we do that, it's going to force this big group of troops right here that's currently blocking the road to probably fall back to defend the city, which means that my 3,000 AV here can go ahead and join up with the 5,500 here. And we're going to have 8,000 AV in Chongqing, and he's going to be in serious, serious trouble. But we're looking at least, I estimate about a month before I can get into Chongqing. Maybe a little more if we don't have a lot of success in this hex here. Because there is a lot of Chinese troops here in mountainous terrain. A little bit further south, unfortunately, my Tuyun offensive has been kind of stuffed. So let me show you We bombarded last turn at Tayun, and this is what we're dealing with. He has unfortunately been able to reinforce it substantially here. So he went from having like 1400 AV to 2300. He keeps moving units in here, and we're to the point now where we're basically on parity. Now, what we do have is we've reduced the forts down to like nothing, and we know he's got no supply here. But that's still a lot of troops on good terrain, and I don't like being even with AV attacking in a ×3 terrain. So I'm not quite sure what we're going to be able to do here. We may be stuck. I'm kind of hoping that the whole northern offensive and pushing on Chungking forces him to pull back a little bit, or else he's just going to... These troops down here are not going to be in the fight, right? We're going to be in Chungking trying to take China. These troops can't stay here unless he wants this to fall, right? He needs every troop he can get into Chungking. So as we continue to push through the north here, right? He's either going to stay down here and get cut off, or he's going to have to fall back and defend it. And as he falls back, we'll just gobble up the terrain behind him and just kind of sweep it up as he goes. So I'm hoping that's what's going to happen here, but we're kind of stuck for now. Just keep bombarding and, you know, trying to reduce these troops as best we can. In Burma, another issue here, the Chinese troops are moving en masse through this road towards Lashio. I estimate he's got about 1,500 to 2,000 AV here. Maybe 1,500. I don't know, maybe more. I don't know what he's got. It's a lot. There's a lot of Chinese troops coming through Burma here, and we're not in a great position to deal with that, so I've decided to go ahead and fall back. So I'm pulling this division back to this better terrain. I'm moving some armor up here and some Royal Thai Army units into this hex here to try to stop him from getting any further in. So this is good terrain for us here, and I'm pretty sure we can hold indefinitely on that, even with 2,500 Chinese AV trying to get us, because they're just not that great in this kind of terrain. On the offense, right? We get the better weapons here. So I'm pulling out of Lashio. We're going to establish a new defensive line, kind of like this. Yeah. And we're going to hold here. All right. Looking in the Indian Ocean here, I saw that Cox's Bazaar and Akyab were both undefended. So over the last couple of turns, the ships that I had used to take the bases in the Andamans, I went ahead and brought them up to Akyab and Cox's Bazaar to grab these bases, because why not? Can't hurt to have them, right? Obviously, he's still got Diamond Harbor, Calcutta. Chittagong looks pretty menacing. So that, you know, that's something. But these bases just kind of are going to get him on edge, right? He's going to think maybe we're going for Chittagong. Maybe we're going... He doesn't know what we're going to do. So I'm going to grab these two bases here for free. And we're going to wait. A little further south in the Andaman Sea, we have quite a bit of enemy submarine activity. And I think what he's got is a lot of subs all through here. I think it's tripwire, just in case I would want to go up north this way. These subs are going to alert him to me coming in. So I know this. So I've got a little plan. I've been moving some aircraft here over the last few days. And if you take a look at some of these units, are you ready for this? Check this out. This Nell unit, right? Look at this. Look at these pilots, guys. 70 ASW rated pilots, dude. These are sub-murderers. Once I unleash these guys, and by the way, there's more than this. I have more. I'm bringing in another beta unit here as well. And when I snap my fingers and say go, I'm unleashing these ASW aircraft on all these subs, and we're going to tear them up. 70 level ASW pilots are very good. And I've got more than that. I've got about enough for 2 squadrons of Nels and Bettys. And we're going to rip and tear these subs so bad, he's going to be forced to fall back. He's going to want to clear out of here away from Rangoon, right? And if he does that, right, if he moves these subs away because my ASW aircraft are ripping them up, I could just kind of hug this shallow water and sail up to India if I were so inclined, without having to worry about these subs tripwiring me on the way. And by taking Akyab and Cox's Bazar, that pushes his naval surge back to at least here or here. And we haven't even seen any sign of that right now. So that's the plan here. In a couple days, we're going to start beating up these subs and forcing them away with some really good pilots. All right. So over here in the Malaya Sumatra area, we're done. We got basically nothing left to do here. Palembang's pumping out the fuel. We're moving it as fast as we can to Singapore. In Singapore, we have 800 aircraft just kind of sitting here chilling, man. I got so many aircraft, I don't even know what to do with them all. Look at some of these Zero squadrons. Look at this one. It's a size 93. I used a Kagi to resize it a while back, and I'm in the process of just resupplying it with aircraft. So in another turn, this will become a 72 size Zero squadron, which I can then divide up into thirds. This is crazy, man. It gets so many aircraft. Taking a look at the divisions here, looking really healthy, guys. So I have basically 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 divisions that are fully combat ready, and another 3 that I'm just putting some finishing touches on. 2 that I'm putting finishing touches on, but they're more or less ready. And you see here that these guys have targets, guys. Don't be fooled by these targets. The targets don't necessarily do much. This is part of what I call SIGINT spoofing, which of course I didn't make up that term. But SIGINT spoofing is where you set a division or a unit to plan for a particular target. And what that does is when the Allies get SIGINT, because what they get is about 5 to 10 times better than what the Japanese ever get, it'll say 5th Division is planning for an attack on Calcutta, right? Or it'll say 4th Division is planning for an attack on Trincomalee. And it makes the Allied player think that's where you're going. But in reality, I could go to Australia, right? I could take all these units and land at Perth, land at Darwin, land anywhere, right? And he's going to think they're going to Trincomalee or Calcutta. And then boom, we land in Perth. So right now he's probably thinking, oh, we're coming into India, so he's going to reinforce it here, which leaves us opportunities to go elsewhere. So don't be fooled by what my divisions are planning for. That very well could be a ruse, because I know the Allies are going to see this. So, yeah. All right. In the Philippines, I did a little thing here where the past couple days I've been moving some aircraft. So now I have 4 medium bomber squadrons, and I'm going to start plastering Bataan. Like I'm putting us into overdrive here. I'm going to level this base. I'm ready to kind of be done with this place. We've already seen that he's been suiciding units. I think he's getting near the end here. So I'm going to use all these aircraft that are now freed up from Singapore, and I'm going to start blasting Bataan into a big pile of rubble. And the reason that I'm using these bigger aircraft is when they get supply hits, it's going to be supply hits from 250 kilogram bombs, not these little 50 kilogram bombs that the Sonyas were carrying. These are going to actually cause legitimate supply issues for him when these bombs hit. So I don't need these aircraft anywhere else right now, so we're going to use them here. And my intention is to completely level Bataan and start softening it up for some final blows. A little further south, about 2 turns ago, we completely neutralized the last Allied unit on Mindanao. It was right here, and it evaporated. So either it died due to attrition, or he used his float plane in Balikpapan, for example, and airlifted it out. I don't care what he did. It makes no difference to me. But what it does mean is I can reduce my garrison on Mindanao now. I don't need to keep troops in Duman-Kilas or Oroquieta. I can move them back and reuse them elsewhere. So that was kind of good, you know, that I no longer have to maintain so big of a garrison. Oh, I need to put these guys right there. Yeah, so Mindanao secured. The next step is to deal with Cebu, Bacolod, and Iloilo on Panay. So that's basically the last Allied troops that we got to deal with. I'm in the process of moving some more Naval Guard units down here to deal with this. I'm not going to use anything larger than that. These guys are basically done for. All right. Okay, I've decided to start moving on Balak Poppin again. I've got a reinforced unit here, 280 some odd AV that I'm sending in. Hopefully, and with armor. Hopefully we have a much better showing this time than we did the first time we crossed. I know these units are degraded. He's taking casualties here. I know he's on clear terrain, and the size of the forts is no more than size 2. So I've got aircraft, quite a bit of aircraft at Surabaya, that we're going to start targeting his ground units a bit more here on his clear terrain and start softening them up for when my shock attack that comes through. Hopefully the second time around we have a better attempt at it, because the first one did not go well. All right, in the South Pacific, guys, it's been super quiet. Like the night bombing stopped 2 turns ago, so basically I'm taking this opportunity to start rearranging some stuff. Right, a couple of my current projects that I'm working on. We can disband that. There is I want to start pulling out non-essential units from these frontier bases. So at Port Moresby, I don't need the 6th Fleet here anymore. Okay, I'm not going to be using this for offensive operations. We're on full defense mode. I don't want to leave troops here to die that are going to run up the score against me. So I'm pulling these guys out, relocating them back into Rabaul, nice and slow, because there's just no need to expose these guys to unnecessary casualties. If and when he attacks Port Moresby, the only troops I want are the ones that are going to fight and die. I don't want all my naval construction units or my naval headquarters in these bases, right? What else do we have here? What else is in there? Yeah, Naval Guard units are fine. Anti-aircraft units are fine. Maybe one engineer unit to help repair the base when it gets hit, but I don't really want to leave a thing like that sitting in Port Moresby where it really serves no purpose. So I'm slowly pulling these units out. I'm also starting to strengthen my final perimeter. So this is kind of what the final perimeter is going to be. Okay. I want to keep New Caledonia. I want Efate and Espiritu Santo. And here's the reason why. These bases are worth, for one, Noumea is worth a lot of points to the Allies, so I don't want him to get that. And Efate is worth a lot of points to me. It's got a 50 multiplier, guys. So I can get 800 points out of this base if I build it up as far as it'll go. So I'm definitely going to reinforce that base. Already got troops and engineer units on the way to do that. Also, Luganville. 50 multiplier, just like Efate. So why would I not want this base? I want it. Now, there's a huge points at Suva, right? 75 multiplier. However, this is just too far for me. It's too far. I never took this base to own it forever, to, build up and get points out of it. It's just too far. Basically, all it is a glorified seaplane base for me. Because I already know he's got a huge presence on Pago Pago, and he's building up this base at Tongatapu. And he's going to use these 2 bases to probably launch a counterattack on Fiji, and that's fine. I basically only have a single aviation battalion there to maintain the seaplanes. That's not even that big deal. He doesn't know that, but this is not my long hold. Over here is my long hold. So I've already pulled back as many units as I want to pull back from Suva. We're already coming back. There you go. See? This SNLF unit is falling back. And on Noumea, we have a much better setup here. We have a very fully rebuilt division. Look at that. 48th Division is fully restored with a lot of experience. This unit's going to do some good work here maintaining Noumea. I've got engineer units building up the fortifications at Lafoa, because he may very well elect not to land at Noumea, but to land here and try to trap me like I did to him. But there's going to be mines here. There's going to be fortifications here. We're on jungle rough terrain. So I have 2 hexes that I can do a long hold on. And I think we can actually make a pretty decent fight out of Noumea. At least long enough, delay him long enough for me to react to it. So if he comes in with a big invasion of Noumea, Hopefully Keto Butai is going to be nearby and can react to this and do some big damage to that invasion, while the 48th Division and my Naval Guard units and all that other stuff defend. So there you go. That's what I'm doing in the South Pacific, guys. Just building a perimeter now, and it's going to be right here. Also, going to start working on a perimeter in the Gilberts. So my big hold's going to be Tapatuea. I've got a couple of Naval Guard units there right now, as you can see, and an aviation unit. I've got more reinforcements coming in. The rest of this unit's coming in, and we're going to hold Tapatuea. Actually, I need to put these guys Tapatuea, huh? There we go. Also, I'm going to start strengthening up the marshals, right? So all these bases out here, I want to try to defend these as best I can. Wake as well. Because that's my spotting perimeter, right? I got seaplanes here. I got seaplanes here. And seaplanes here. So I have a pretty decent amount of naval search coverage right now. All right, anything else I can show you guys? Yeah, let's take a look at reinforcements, so what we got coming down the pipe, and then I'll end this video, because I think I've showed you everything you need to see. Okay, so let's look at aircraft reinforcements. So these are units that I'm shipping. So these Sonias and Idas, I'm shipping back from the Philippines. I'm done using those there. I'm sending them back into Manchukuo, into the Kwantung area, to just act as training squadrons again. No more combat for them. In 3 days, I get another Nate training squadron, which is great. You can never have too many training squadrons, right? And I have more than enough Nates to fill this unit out. I've got 100 Nates in the reserve. In 18 days, we get another Nate unit, which, again, I have aircraft to fill these out for training. A 1C Sally unit at Osaka. Another Zero squadron at Chiba. We get our first taste of some of these Japanese float planes coming online in 22 days, but it's whatever. Another Zero unit here. Another Nell unit at Chiba. And so another Mavis squadron, which is great at Kwajalein. I need more naval search aircraft right now. I'm definitely short, so I could use that. Ground reinforcements. We've been getting a trickle of units in over the last few days. In the next few weeks, we're getting another port service unit, another aviation battalion, 4 Naval Guard units. Let's see, what we got? A garrison, some other service units here. That's fine. Another Naval Guard. Yeah, so basically some support units and a bunch of Naval Guard units all the way for the next 30 days or so. And this little guy here, the Wake Island Coastal Gun Battalion. That comes automatically in about 26 days. And it's got a pretty substantial amount of coastal defense guns, which will make an invasion here a little costly for him if he has to tangle with them. So there you go. Got that. And lastly, let's take out the ships that we got coming online in the next 30 days. We just recently got the light carrier. Where is it at? The Unyo, which I've been using to resize some squadrons, right? Actually, let's see if that actually is going to resize anything. I've been resizing everything I possibly can with it, right? Oh, I guess it's not resizing. Maybe because there's 2 units on there. Oh well, I'll deal with that later. I got the Unyo here. A couple destroyers, a couple submarines come out of Port Arthur. Those are on the way. Let's look back at Tracker now, and we'll see what we got coming for ship production. So here you go. I'm sorting by date of arrival. It's the 6th of March now, and it doesn't look like we're going to get anything too exciting over the next, I don't know, couple months. LSD, landing ship, tankers, 1, 2, 3 tankers, some cargo ships, and a bunch of troop transports. What else? The Chuyo, we get that Oh, you know why I have it on merchant? Let's go all. That's better. Okay, so this is both naval and merchant shipping, right? So here's what we got coming online here. Some sub. Ooh. There we go. By the end of the month, we're gonna get the Junio, which is a halfway decent carrier. This is one that would really go nice with mini Kido Butai, or in a pinch, you can stick it with KB, but it's gonna be kind of slow. With the max speed of 25, it's even slower than Kaga, so it's probably better with mini KB, but it does hold 53 aircraft, so I'm kind of thinking about leaving Junio in the home islands for now as kind of like a mobile defense in case he starts poking around in the Kuriel Islands. I want to have something that can react rapidly to that. And between the Unyo and the Junio and whatever else we got, the Chuyo coming in June, that should be enough aircraft carriers to hold down the fort back home while all the big boys are down south doing other stuff. A couple sub chasers, another submarine here, 2 more submarines, and look at this. In May, we get the Yamato. So there you go. Not a lot of exciting ships coming online here other than the Junio in the next, I don't know, 23 days. All right, guys, so that's it. If you have any questions about the campaign or what's going on right now, post it here in the video comments or come over to my Discord and we'll talk about it. So here's what you have to expect from me over the next 15 days. All these troops that you see in Singapore, right? The 6,300 AV of troops, they're going somewhere, okay? And it's going to be massive. Wherever we go, either India, maybe Ceylon, maybe we're going to go for Perth. Wherever we're going, it's going to be a massive sledgehammer, massively supported by hundreds of aircraft, dozens of surface combatants, hundreds of cargo ships. Guys, this is going to be the biggest phase 2 you may have ever seen on YouTube. I'm not saying I'm the biggest that's ever been done in this game, but I don't think you've seen what I've got coming. With the house rules that we have, or lack thereof, I've been able to free up a lot of divisions that most people normally don't get. So it's going to be huge. So stay tuned. And just keep in mind, my amphibious bonus ends on April 1st. So wherever we go, I got to get there before April 1st, or we're going to incur some serious unloading penalties to the point where it's not even viable. So I can promise you the fireworks will be flying before April 1st. It has to, or it's too late for me. So there you go, guys. Again, if you have questions, let me know. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Hopefully we get some more activity here where I can show you some replays. Bye-bye.